Motivation refers to the psychological processes that initiate, guide, and sustain goal-oriented behaviors. When we talk about motivation in relation to the brain, we delve into the neurobiological mechanisms that underpin these processes. At the core, motivation is driven by a complex interaction between various brain regions, neurotransmitters, and hormones, especially involving structures such as the limbic system, which governs emotions, and the prefrontal cortex, which handles planning and decision-making. A key player in the system is dopamine, a neurotransmitter often associated with pleasure and reward. Understanding the interplay between motivation and the brain is crucial because it sheds light on how we set and achieve goals, how habits are formed, and how passion can be ignited and sustained. By comprehending this synergy, individuals and organizations can harness strategies to boost productivity and foster a fulfilling work culture. For instance, in education, insights into motivation can help teachers create engaging learning environments that stimulate students' intrinsic motivation, leading to deeper engagement and better academic outcomes. In the workplace, companies can design incentive systems that align with employees' intrinsic motivations, thereby enhancing job satisfaction and performance. Real-world applications of understanding motivation include the use of behavioral therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, where patients learn to reframe negative thought patterns that impede motivation. Another example is in app development, such as health apps that use gamification techniques to motivate users to exercise more consistently by rewarding them with points or badges. There is considerable support for the idea that understanding brain-based motivation can transform personal and professional lives. Advocates suggest that this approach provides a scientific basis for personal development strategies, moving beyond generic advice. However, challenges and controversies exist. Critics argue that the complexity of human motivation cannot be fully explained by neuroscience alone, and caution against reductionist views that overlook environmental, cultural, and psychological factors. Additionally, ethical concerns arise when techniques used to manipulate motivation may infringe on personal autonomy. Overall, the introduction to motivation and the brain sets the stage for exploring how these concepts influence other aspects of self-improvement and achievement. By illuminating the brain's role in motivation, individuals can gain deeper insights into their behaviors and find more effective pathways to ignite and sustain their passions. This understanding not only informs personal growth, but also influences educational methodologies, workplace dynamics, and therapeutic practices, creating a comprehensive vista of human motivation. Understanding how neurotransmitters like dopamine play a crucial role in motivation is fundamental to unlocking the science of motivation. Dopamine that often gets dubbed the feel-good neurotransmitter, but it's more accurate to describe it as the reward neurotransmitter. It is released in the brain during rewarding situations and is crucial in reinforcing behaviors that led to the positive outcome. This mechanism is significant because it helps us understand how motivation is deeply rooted in our brain chemistry and not merely a matter of willpower or external circumstances. To illustrate, consider the example of achieving a challenging fitness goal, such as completing a marathon. The anticipation of the finish line, the crowds cheering, and the satisfaction of completing the challenge releases dopamine, reinforcing the individual's motivation to pursue similar challenges in the future. Another example is in education. When students receive positive feedback and rewards for their efforts, dopamine release enhances their motivation to continue learning and engaging with the material. The significance of understanding dopamine's role in motivation extends into various fields, including education, workplace productivity, and mental health. It helps develop strategies to ignite passion and sustain motivation by leveraging the brain's natural reward systems. Experts in neuroscience and psychology often emphasize the importance of setting achievable milestones and celebrating small victories to maintain motivation levels, thereby tapping into the brain's natural reward system. However, this understanding is not without its challenges and controversies. Over-reliance on external rewards can lead to a dependency where intrinsic motivation is overshadowed. Critics argue that an excessive focus on dopamine-driven motivation might overlook the complexities of human motivation, including intrinsic factors like personal values and ethical considerations. Moreover, conditions like addiction demonstrate how the dopamine pathway can be hijacked, leading to harmful patterns of behavior. This perspective on dopamine and motivation also highlights the interconnectedness of different motivational aspects. It underscores the importance of a balanced approach that combines an understanding of biological, psychological, and social factors. It influences how we approach goal setting, habit formation, and behavior modification, encouraging a holistic view that considers the intricate workings of the brain. By grasping the nuances of dopamine's role in motivation, we can craft more effective strategies. For personal development, fostering environments where motivation can thrive naturally, and reducing the reliance on external stimuli. Hence, nurturing a more profound, sustainable passion for our pursuits. The neuroscience of motivation delves into the brain's intricate network of regions and functions that drive our desires and goals. At its core, motivation arises from specific brain areas, such as the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in planning and decision-making, the limbic system, which processes emotions, and the mesolimbic dopamine pathway, often referred to as the brain's reward circuit. This pathway is crucial because it releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and reinforcement, signaling the brain to pursue rewarding activities. Understanding these mechanisms is vital for unlocking the science of motivation, as it illuminates why we pursue certain goals and how we can harness this knowledge to ignite our passions. The significance of this understanding is profound. By comprehending how different brain regions contribute to motivation, individuals can tailor strategies to boost their drive and productivity. This knowledge extends to numerous real-world applications. For example, in education, teachers can design curricula that stimulate students' reward systems, making learning more engaging. In the workplace, managers can use insights into motivational neuroscience to create environments that enhance employee satisfaction and performance. Real-world examples illustrate the power of this understanding. Athletes often use visualization techniques, activating similar brain regions involved in real physical activity to enhance motivation and performance. Similarly, companies like Google have implemented flexible work policies and creative environments that tap into employees' intrinsic motivations, fostering innovation and productivity. Support for the neuroscience of motivation comes from various fields. Psychologists advocate for its importance in mental health, suggesting that understanding motivation at a neurological level can aid in treating disorders like depression and ADHD. However, there are challenges and controversies. The reductionist perspective, which focuses solely on the brain's chemistry, may overlook the complex interplay of external factors like social influences and personal experiences that also shape motivation. This concept not only underscores the biological underpinnings of motivation, but also influences other aspects of the main topic, such as goal setting and self-regulation. By recognizing how the brain's motivational circuitry interacts with cognitive processes, individuals can devise more effective strategies for achieving their aspirations. Ultimately, understanding the neuroscience of motivation provides a comprehensive framework that bridges biological insights with practical applications, empowering people to ignite their passion and achieve their goals. One key aspect of the science of motivation is the concept of intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation refers to engaging in a behavior because it is inherently rewarding, rather than for some separable consequence. Essentially, it means doing something because it's enjoyable or interesting, not because of external pressures or rewards. This internal drive is crucial for fostering creativity, enhancing productivity, and promoting a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Understanding intrinsic motivation is vital for igniting passion, as it represents a genuine and sustainable source of motivation that aligns with personal interests and values. The significance of intrinsic motivation lies in its ability to produce long-term engagement and well-being. Unlike extrinsic motivation, which can diminish over time when external rewards are removed, Intrinsic motivation thrives on personal satisfaction and growth. For instance, consider an artist who creates art for the sheer joy of expressing creativity. This intrinsic drive can lead to innovative work and deep personal fulfillment. Another example is a student who studies a subject out of genuine curiosity and interest, rather than for grades or accolades. Such students are more likely to retain information and develop a lifelong love of learning. Several opinions support the idea that intrinsic motivation is a powerful tool for achieving excellence. Psychologists like Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, known for their self-determination theory, emphasize the importance of autonomy, competence, and relatedness in fostering intrinsic motivation. They argue that environments encouraging these elements help individuals thrive and succeed. However, challenges arise when intrinsic motivation conflicts with external demands. For instance, in a workplace setting, an employee might feel less motivated if their job doesn't align with their personal interests, despite external incentives. Moreover, there's controversy regarding the balance between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Some argue that external rewards can undermine intrinsic motivation, a phenomenon known as the over-justification effect. Still, others believe that extrinsic motivators can complement intrinsic drives under certain conditions. This leads to alternative viewpoints on how best to harness motivation in various contexts. Intrinsic motivation connects deeply with other aspects of the science of motivation, such as understanding brain functions related to pleasure and reward. By tapping into intrinsic motivation, individuals can ignite their passions and cultivate a more meaningful and engaged life. This internal drive influences how people set goals, overcome challenges, and ultimately achieve personal and professional fulfillment.